was anxious to see him, too. If I had a tail, it would be whipping side to side just like Brigit's. I walked over to the door and opened it as Seth and Blast stepped into the landing outside. Seth wore tennis shoes, jeans, and a green Henley that brought out the color of his eyes and was fitted just enough to accentuate his shoulders. An avid swimmer whose best stroke was the butterfly, Seth sported shoulders as broad as they were strong. Blast, his Labrador retriever, wore a black collar imprinted with red fire hydrants. Both man and dog had short blonde hair, square jaws, and muscular builds, looking as alike as a man and his dog could, given they were different species. But while Blast's chin sported only whiskers, Seth's had a subtle, sexy dimple, a la Ben Affleck. Though it was early in February, the day was unseasonably bright, cool but comfortable. A light breeze blew past, carrying the scents of motor oil, dust, and garbage up from the parking lot. Ew. Still, the temperature was pleasant. The weather in the Lone Star State could change on a dime, though, going from calm and temperate to violently stormy in an instant. We had a saying here in Texas: if you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. Brigit bolted out the door as soon as the space was wide enough for her to squeeze through. She ran up to Blast, her back half wriggling from side to side so rapidly and with such force she threatened to snap in two. Shameless. Yet a part of me envied her for being a species that wasn't afraid to show its feelings. Humans could be so wary and guarded. Especially humans like Seth and me. My brown eyes met his green ones and held for a long moment, as if each of us was trying to mentally feel the other out. Last night, he'd asked if he could come by this morning so we could sort things out. What things needed sorting out? Long story short, last autumn, after we'd dated loosely for several weeks and I'd begun to fall hard for Seth, he had suddenly ended things for no apparent reason, leaving me confused, lonely, and heartsick. I hadn't seen him again until New Year's Eve, when, as a member of the Fort Worth Fire Department's bomb squad, he'd rescued me after a nut job tied me to a carousel horse at the shops at Chisholm Trail Mall with a ticking time bomb strapped to my chest. What a way to bring in the new year, huh? After saving my life, Seth said he wanted to see me again. I'd agreed. How could I not? But on the condition that we could see other people, too. I hadn't been ready to put all my eggs in one basket. Smart move on my part, because it left me free to have some fun with Clint McCutcheon, a good-looking bronc-buster deputy sheriff who, like me, had been assigned to work the stock show and rodeo. My relationship with the deputy had not set well with Seth, which I took to mean the guy was more emotionally invested in me than I'd realized. If I had to hazard a guess, Seth had reached the same conclusion. After winning the bronc riding championship last night, Clint informed me he planned to resign from law enforcement and head out on the rodeo circuit. Though we'd had some fun, it was clear the deputy and I were not soulmates. We parted with no hard feelings. So, here were Seth and I, preparing to sort things out. "Morning, Megan," Seth said in greeting, his deep voice, as always, causing a little spark inside me. I tilted my head. "You're a half-hour early." He quirked his brows, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "I was hoping to catch you coming out of the shower." "Too late for that." I was dry and fully dressed, though I had left my long, dark hair hanging free and loose, the way Seth liked it. He reached out a hand, took a lock between his fingers, and tentatively toyed with it, eyeing me all the while, assessing my reaction. He held it to his nose. Peaches. The fruity scent was courtesy of Brigit's flea shampoo, which I discovered left my hair soft, shiny, and, yes, pest-free. But let's keep this little secret between us, shall we? When he finally released my hair, I patted my leg and called the dogs, who ran into and around my apartment, barking up a storm. Roof, 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 roof. Bam, bam, bam. Seriously, did my downstairs neighbor stand in the middle of his place all day with his broom in his hand? Ignoring the banging from below, I closed the door behind us and turned back to Seth. "Want some coffee?" "There's only one thing I want." He stepped toward me, a gleam in his eyes. "You." Instinctively, I stepped backward, looking up at Seth. My breaths came fast as my butt hit the door. I could go no further, but Seth kept right on coming. He wrapped